So just quickly a few words. There are many other words, but just stuff that we've mentioned already, or that I think is most important in terms of what we covered as an introduction to newspaper publishing. Stringers. Stringers are the freelance reporters. Remember in one of the previous slides I said for the editorial department you can either have in-house reporters that are there, full-time, but then you can also have the freelance reporters that you sometimes use for specific stories, and we call them stringers. Circ. That is the department responsible for circulations and distributions, and you'll also hear that this term is used in magazine publishing as well. They refer to the circ or the circ department. Churn is the one that we said when individuals start and stop a subscription and you need to replace them. That is something that all newspaper publishers usually hate, because that was guaranteed income that's now been taken away, and you now need to find new subscribers again.
No. Damiani, that guy.
We were talking about the man who led this country for 2 terms.
It was a crazy time. It was a crazy, crazy time.
One thing about Daily Maverick journalists is that they don't like to be managed.
I was on fellowship in Italy at the time.
For a bunch of people who report on such hectic stuff, everyone is just always so happy.
Wait.
The sexy stories, the big investigations.
There was so much going on every day. And then there was the Gupta leaks. Something big had happened. I wasn't sure what it was.
Branko is a mysterious fellow. He has that Slavic spy vibe about him at the best of times.
If cell phones had to be put away in this little secret sack of his that blocks all signal.
He sent me a message, we have a game changer.
That was Branko's standard line when it came to, I've got something big. I've got something big. Well, what do you have? Oh, I can't talk.
Something huge is coming. Massive story. Is he listening? This is good, eh? Really good imitation.
Can I see?
All right, so the Daily Maverick published a book, and they did it in November 2009. So they are a newspaper reporting on hard news, investigative journalism, etc., etc. But then they thought, okay, so as you saw in the video, they actually then said, why don't we then take all of these stories, the top 10 or not just the top 10, but the top stories over the past 10 years, because now they are 10 years old, so they want to commemorate this birthday of theirs by publishing a book. And because they are already in the publishing industry, although it's not exactly similar as book publishing, they already have editors, proofreaders, printers, and everything in place to basically do this. So now they've actually started a publishing leg. It's called, I think, 45, that they are now starting to do books based on the stories that they actually get the information from. So this specific book is called We Have a Game Changer, A Decade of Daily Maverick. And this book contains a collection of the journalists' stories, but it's not just about the top stories, it's about the journalists who actually wrote these stories or who broke these stories. What was their experiences like writing the story, breaking the story, what happened during that time. So it was the top stories of the last 10 years. So the stories would include Marikana, Gupta leaks, SARS, Mandela's death, 10 years of Zuma, the rise of the EFF, the business of Daily Maverick. How did this whole newspaper start? What was its strategy? Where everything happened, etc., etc. So this is a really interesting case study of how a newspaper started a publishing leg and now publishing a book. And then just on a last note, if you guys are interested, check out these movies about newspapers. It's either about newspapers or reporting. The Post is a really good one, with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Spotlight, which has also like a fantastic cast, but it's also a very, very serious, very spannend, suspenseful movie. Zodiac, I haven't watched that one yet, but apparently that's also very interesting. And then Orson Welles' Citizen Kane, a very old movie. I think you can get it on Google Movies. Some of these you can get on Showmax or on Netflix. I struggle to find Zodiac though, but if you have time and you feel like doing this, go check out these movies. It's really cool. Thank you guys.